And we begin today with breaking news with a special Q&A chat conducted by former government contractor Edward Snowden. Today, Snowden gave a number of curious people out there the chance to have a conversation with him by offering them to ask some timely questions. Our very own Sam Sachs has been charting those questions and answers from our newsroom. So, Sam, it seems like most people are dying to know what Snowden's response is to President Barack Obama's speech on NSA reforms that he gave last Friday. Do we have that response yet?
Right. Well, there were some questions about the timing of President Obama's speech. There were some voices who hadn't weighed in on the NSA debate yet, namely the Privacy and Civil Liberties Oversight Board, which released a report today showing that the NSA's bulk phone records collection program is both illegal and useless to preventing terrorism. Snowden was asked particularly about that, saying, do you think it's a shame that Obama gave his NSA speech before his Privacy and Civil Liberties Oversight Board reported that report? So Snowden responded to that by saying it's time to end bulk collection, which is a euphemism for mass surveillance. There is no simply justification for continuing an unconstitutional policy with a 0% success rate. In light of another independent confirmation of this fact, I think Americans should look to the White House and Congress to close the book entirely on the 215 bulk records provision. Of course, in the president's speech, he didn't say anything about collection. He said that he was going to move retention of these records out of the government's hands and into some third party, but he didn't say anything about collection, which left a lot of people unsatisfied, particularly Edward Snowden here.
Sure. And Sam, I know you've been tracking some other questions and answers. What else have you found out?
Sure. Snowden was asked also about a Reuters report that alleged that he had stolen the passwords of his coworkers to obtain some of these documents. Snowden shot that report down, saying that it was simply false and that he hadn't stolen any passwords or tricked any of his coworkers. As for Snowden's well-being, he was asked what he thought of the Whistleblower Protection Act that was been floated around by the president. Snowden replied to that, saying, if I had revealed what I knew about these unconstitutional but classified programs to Congress, they could have charged me with a felony. One only need to look at the case of Thomas Drake to see how the government doesn't have a good history of handling legitimate reports of wrongdoing within the system. My case clearly demonstrates the need for comprehensive Whistleblower Protection Act reform. Snowden, of course, referring to former previous NSA whistleblower Thomas Drake, who exposed illegal call program out of the NSA, and he was charged with the Espionage Act out of that. He eventually beat those charges. Of course, also members of Congress already knew about this program, so what Snowden could have accomplished going to members of Congress is unclear. Some news today regarding Snowden's fate. Attorney General Eric Holder said that while he'll stop short of granting full clemency to Snowden, he said he's willing to have a conversation about some sort of resolution regarding Edward Snowden's fate. So we'll have to see exactly what that means. One more thing here that Snowden talked about and was asked about. He was asked whether or not American democracy can recover from these NSA leaks. And he responded by saying, yes. What makes our country strong is our system of values, not a snapshot of the structure of our agencies or the framework of our laws. We can correct the laws, restrain the overreaches of agencies, and hold the senior officials responsible for abusive programs to account.